So we have a new #1 Super EZA, but is he worth your red coins? How's it, everybody? Celtic Link here. We're back for another Dokkan battle video. In today's video, many of you guys had asked to know whether the new Super EZA Broly would be worth our hard-earned red coins. After all, being that he is one of the original Dokkan Fests, he is to be available in the shop for 150 coins. So the question is he worth it? Well, let's take a look at a couple of things real quick and kind of make that call, because we can kind of know, based on how the other EZAs have operated this celebration, we can kind of already know what to expect out of this based on his calculations and his kits. Let's start off by just reviewing his kit real quick. So remember, we do not get changes on leader skill or super attack effects, so he will be raising his attack for 3 turns on his super attack effect, and then his passive is now changed to key 2 and attack and defense to 100%. He gets an additional attack defense to 150% when attacking, and an additional 30% up to 150%, and reduces damage received by 10% up to 50% with each super attack performed. He also changes a random type of key spheres to rainbow key spheres when there's a planetary destruction or pure Saiyans category ally attacking in the same turn. He also gets key 1 and attack 10% for superclass allies attacking in the same turn, and key 1 and attack and defense 20% for extreme allies per rainbow key sphere obtained. So he could have a possibility of up to 40% for superclass allies, and realistically, I mean technically 50%, but that assumes you get 5 rainbow orbs, which is very difficult to do, or up to 100, or somewhere between 60 to 80% for extreme class allies. So really good support. On top of that, he is performing a critical hit and launching an additional super attack for every 2 rainbow key spheres obtained. So this dude is really good. He's everything we wanted out of the STR Broly and more. He was a blank slate before, and they worked in everything they could to make him good. He's got additionals. He's got support, like one of the best supports too, if we can think about it, as well as enough defense to kind of rock as a Super ECA, right? Shout out to Halvard here for posting the calcs here for his Super EZA, but basically on average you're going to be seeing around 900k defense, right? It's going to be pretty easy for him to get the 3 additional supers, especially if you have him built with additionals, right? When he gets his full build up, assuming he's under a domain with 40% support, he is looking at, right, once fully built up, he is looking at around 1.2 million defense. So with 50% damage reduction, he's gonna be rock solid. He'll tank most normals, and on the rare chance you get a super in slot 3, which hardly ever happens with some of these major bosses, he could see some trouble, but he will more than likely live it at the point in which he would possibly get hit. But also remember, who else is likely to be on rotation with him, right? Your slot 1 is probably covered by either Int Broly or Tech Broly, and then if it's on the other rotation, you've probably got Int Broly or the LR EZA Broly. Like, you've probably got someone who can tank and deal massive damage while this guy just kind of cleans up house in slot 3. So honestly, this not being so bad, especially considering, right, knowing who is the possibilities of his slot 2 with this guy in slot 3, it makes this all that much more impressive, right? His attack is just wild. I mean, that's the thing with these Broly units. Their attack is just out of control. Looking at his turn 1 with Tech Broly in slot 1 and 2 rainbow orbs obtained. Obviously, this could be more, but this is like a low ball number here. But so shout out to Luke, Rocket Luke, for the posting these calcs, by the way, and Halvard for posting the defensive calcs for that matter. So, right, turn 1, 3rd super, you're looking at up to 19 million, and that's with Tech Broly in slot 1 and the EZA Tech Broly, who pretty much between the two are you're activating all of his links. So really good setup there. Then, right, we look at his next appearance, turn 3, right? Now that we've built up attack a little bit, we're looking at 18 mil into 22 million, into 25, into a 29 million super with somewhere around 1.1 to 1.2 defense, right? Depending on what's happening within that turn. So honestly, combine that again with LR Tech Broly, combine that with others who could be on the team, combine that with having Int Broly's domain up, he's gonna be rocking, right? With the support here. So I mean, really good for his second appearance. And then on to the third appearance, right? So pretty much that's where he's gonna, being that he does stack only for 3 turns, this is kind of going to be where he caps out at, which for a Super EZA is pretty darn good, right? Around, again, between 900k and 1.2 million defense. And again, this isn't factoring in any kind of domain or support, just this rotation here. And then, right, like imagine this is turn 5, so next turn you'll transform AGL Broly, but this turn alone, right, with his guard still up, he's still doing a pretty decent amount of damage. At this point, this dude has done his active skill, so he's going to launch a big attack with him cleaning up house in slot 3, unlikely to take an attack with whatever happens there, rolling into the next slot where you've got the EZA LR Tech Broly, and boom, right, it's game over from that point. So knowing all of this, right, I would honestly say, you know, I don't usually like to recommend this, but if you're somebody who didn't pick them up on your worldwide ticket summons at this point, I would honestly say he might be worth the 150 coins, right? He is currently available in the shop for 150 coins, being that he is one of the original Dokkan Fest because he is on the banner for the Int Broly, so we know we don't have to, you know, you have an easy shot to get him. So honestly, I would say if you've got the coins, you've got 150 to spare, he's probably going to be all right even at 55%. Obviously the dupes are going to be worth it for him, but if you are, I mean, obviously if you're strapped for coins, don't spend coins on him, but if you got plenty of coins, you got more than enough to cover any of the missing LRs that you are missing throughout the year, I would say he's definitely worth 150 coins. Now, I do want to add a little caveat to that. I told y'all in the beginning of the celebration to hold on to your special character select Dragonstone 5. They were given 3 of them, and I told you to at a minimum at least hold on to 2, and that is because I had a pretty good feeling that this guy was going to get a Super EZA, and in order to pick him up with your Redstone, you need to trade 2 of those red Dragonstone 5. So definitely recommend you doing this first, right? You doing this first so you can grab a extra copy of him or your first copy of him. Now, it's unfortunate that it is taking 2. I'm glad I picked him up before with my redstone where it would only cost me 1. But, I mean, if you haven't used your redstones yet, use your 2 to grab him. He'll definitely be worth it out of all the possibility options here. He's probably going to be now your best option to choose. And then, of course, right, if you have the coins to spare, maybe pick up an extra dupe for him with 150. He's honestly worth it. I don't say that very lightly, but knowing what the Broly team is, knowing what the Broly team needs, he's the last piece of the puzzle, all right? That last bit of extra support that the team needed. There is a lot of support via domains. Int Broly supports after his revive. Tech Broly supports that that first turn. So there's kind of a small gap out within the domains active, right, in Broly's domain, that there isn't too much support unless you're running Turles or Kid Buu or someone else. But having a Broly that can float without taking up much link space, this is definitely a much more viable option. So I do think he is worth the 150 red coins. So guys, that is it for the video. If you like the video, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And in the comments down below, let us know, will you be picking up Broly with your hard-earned red coins. I will say that if you think you can wait for him, there's a chance that he'll go back down to 1 stone value towards the end of the year when we get another dragon stone. So just keep that in the back of your head. We'll see what happens with that. But it may be worth it to wait if you think you can. If not, 2 dragon stones, you've still got 1 left over for anyone else you may be missing. So I just want to throw that out there. So guys, again, that's it for the video. If you like the video, make sure you hit that like button. And if nothing else, thanks for watching, and aloha.